Okay, guys, another hot content for you. Many of you want to travel abroad. At this point, you don't care what country, you just want to live where you are, especially Africa and Asia. So the opportunities out there, there's Ireland, there's Australia, there's UK, there's Finland, there's USA, where I normally make content from to reach you at wherever you are. So today I have a nurse who is Nigerian, who's schooled in Nigeria, but working in Finland. And she'll tell us all about the process if you're interested in going to work in Finland as a nurse. I have the expert here. She also has a YouTube channel, so go check it out. Share this video with others and hope it was fruitful. Let me see my new hairstyle. That's just by the way. Watch this to the end and click on the thanks logo, the logo that has the dollar sign and the love. Click on that and send your donations if you want. It's between $1.99 to $49.99 to say thank you if you have benefited from any video I put out there. Do not forget that we are still at USRN Pathway Consult for general nurses, psych nurses, and midwives. Okay? Come find us. Let's groom you to write NCLEX and then find your recruiter. That's basically what we do at USRN Pathway Consult. Okay, guys, welcome back to my channel once again. As I already said, I have a lovely fellow nurse here. She's going to tell us all about the process to working in Finland. As I said, she comes from Nigeria and lives in Finland with her family, and she practices nursing in Finland. So if you're interested in working in Finland, please pay attention. Watch to the end. Hi, Roselyn. Welcome to my channel.
Hi, Priscilla. Good to have you here. Oh, I am the one welcoming myself to the show, really.
That is the life of a YouTuber.
It is the life of a YouTuber. Okay, everybody, welcome to the show, really.
I like the vibe. Okay. So please introduce yourself to my viewers.
Okay, as Priscilla said, I am a Nigerian practicing in Finland. So I did nursing in Nigeria and then I moved to Finland and did nursing again. So this is my 5th year practicing nursing here in Finland. Yeah, and yeah, I have my family and I'm also a content creator. But I don't talk about nursing coming to Finland or nursing for now. On my channel, I talk about money making. I talk about living a godly life. So if you're a Christian and you want to develop a deeper relationship with God, that's the channel for you. So if you have questions relating to come to Finland as a nurse and all that, please leave it in the comment section here in Priscilla's video and I'll be replying. I'll definitely be replying those. But if you're coming to make money and other things, please feel free to come to the channel. It's Roselyn Dedua, the exact name on the screen.
Okay. So as she said, if you have any questions about nursing in Finland, come and leave it here. Do not go to that channel. That channel is about making money and getting closer to God. Please and please. Okay. So I want to take you back a little bit. You did nursing in Nigeria, correct?
Yes, I did nursing in Nigeria.
Okay. And how long did you practice in Nigeria before leaving?
So I practiced for 1 year after graduation and then I moved to Germany and then to Finland.
Okay. And is this diploma or is this a bachelor's degree?
So I did a diploma, which we call the registered nursing certificate in Nigeria. Yeah.
Good. And so what informed your decision? Why Finland? There are other countries. So how did you end up in Finland?
It's actually a coincidence. I did not plan to move to Finland. It was my proposed and he was moving to Finland. And that was the first time I heard about Finland. And it's like, if we are going to have get married or have a deeper relationship, it'd be good for us to be together. So we started the process of moving from Germany, where I was, to Finland.
Oh, you were in Germany?
Yeah, I was in Germany.
Did you practice nursing there at all?
No, actually, the nursing in Germany was kind of that in Nigeria, that nurses don't have independent, they are not seen as independent profession, they're under the medical profession. So I did not like that. I wanted to have one that you can practice your nursing profession independently, away from the interference of doctors. And that was what Finland had for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I happen to have a few friends in Germany, and you
Yeah.
have to study the language, I think C1 level before you can even practice and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you moved from Nigeria to Germany, Germany to Finland.
Finland. Yeah.
So what was the process to be able to work in Finland? Where did you even know anything about the process before going? Did you do your research back in Germany, or you got there before you started the process?
No, so one of the things I did was go for the entrance exam. Now, there are various ways to move to Finland to practice as a nurse. I do have a nursing background. So, what I did was to write the entrance exam. Then it was tuition free. So I didn't pay any fee studying as a nurse even after I graduated until I graduated. All I did was to pay for my living expenses like the house, the food I ate, but I didn't pay for textbooks and anything related to school. It was completely free, like scholarship. Then so what I did is I went for the entrance exam. By God's grace, I got admitted. And because I had done nursing back home, I told them that I'm a nurse. So I got some accreditations. I was supposed to do the nursing program for 3 years, but I did it for, they planned that I should do it for 2 years. And then I was single. It was just me. So I did it for a year and 6 months instead of the 2 years because I was just doing it back to back, no break. And then I graduated. Yeah. But the process of moving to Finland, if you don't have a nursing background, is very simple. So you choose the school you want to go to. There is studyinfinland.fi. That's the website you use. You write the entrance examination, and every school you put or you indicate interest that you want to go to, they have what they want you to know. So they may tell you read this textbook or practice do IELTS English. Most of the times they don't even ask. In fact, now they don't ask. So forget about English. Then they may ask you for any other thing. The individual schools, they have what you should read. And after you've done that, they will test you. Most of the times now, you don't even have to travel to other countries. I know that some people have to travel to Germany or Kenya. If you're an African country, you travel to Kenya. So people from Nigeria, Ghana, and other places were going to Kenya. Now you will do it totally online with your laptop and they just watch you. So after you've done the entrance examination, they tell you, okay, you've been accepted and this is the time to pay your fees and all that. So it's pretty easy. If by the time you get the admission, and this is what I tell everyone, even if you're a nurse and you want to move to Finland, go through the path that you are starting afresh.
Okay.
Because that way you don't have to wait. Because I have a friend that we came the same time, but I went to school and I graduated within a year and 6 months. But she was trying to get accreditation. One of the things that the nursing council here in Finland does is you have to speak the language, because most of the people you'll be talking to or caring for are Finnish speakers. So it's like 80% speak Finnish and about 20% speak Swedish. So you will want to learn the Finnish. What I did while I was doing the 1 year and 6 months was learning Finnish alongside. By the time I graduated, my Finnish was not perfect, but I could tell, okay, come, go, I could understand a little. So that's what I actually encourage a lot of people. If you're coming from abroad, go through the student route and you'll be able to get accreditation. So you get your accreditation and you may do it for 1 year or 2 years. By the way, they offered me a 1 year proposal that I could do my program for 1 year, but I decided to choose the 2 year because I wanted to take my time to learn the language a bit. So by the time you get that, you tell them for the accreditation, and it will be pretty easy for you to get into the workforce as announced with the students study routes than going to the nursing council and then they'll tell you to show language. So sometimes you may actually have to learn the language for 2 years. And because you're not practicing, one thing this student route does is that it helps you to go to the hospitals, the care homes, and different practice settings, so much so that you understand the basic terms they use. You'll be able to know how the healthcare system in Finland operates. But if you're not coming through that road, then you have to go through integration. I think it's a hassle that people should avoid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So if I heard you clear, you apply to the schools, you go to Kenya and write some sort of entrance examination.
No, you don't go to Kenya anymore. So you do everything online. You don't have to travel to any country anymore. Thank God for COVID. They started this during the COVID time. So now everyone does the entrance exam at the comfort of their homes, just with your laptop. Yeah.
So when it comes to fees, the person is going to pay fees for the range amount, or are they going to get scholarship?
Yeah, so it depends on the school you're going to,
Okay.
but it's about um, one of the things I have to say is that if you're coming to Finland to study, the tuition fee is more affordable when you compare it to any other European country or even the UK or even Canada or the US. So I think it's about 2,000 to 6,000 a year. Most of the times, if you get the admission and pay the tuition fee within the first 2 weeks, then you get 50% discount. So some people, the tuition fee for a year is like, I'd say 4,000, but they end up paying 2,000 because they paid early. And
Okay.
this is for a year. So during the summer, you can actually work and get the money.
Okay. So you said 2,000, 4,000. What currency is it?
It's euro.
Oh, it's euro. Okay.
Yeah.
2,000 to 4,000 euros.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not bad at all.
It's not. That's what I'm saying. That's why I had to say that one of the things that is very good about studying in Finland is that it's very affordable, really.
US $35,000, $70,000.
I know.
So
Yeah.
as soon as you get that, let's say you pass the examination test, what is the next step?
So once you pass the examination, they will tell you, oh, please check your email all the time. So everything, when you're offered the admission, it will be through your email and they will send you the letter of admission. And then they tell you to pay your fees. After you've paid your fees, then you just start your visa application. So you go to the nearest embassy, apply. And one thing the Finnish immigration does is that they give priority to students. So once you get your admission letter, you start the process. Some people come into Finland within 2 weeks to 2 months. Yeah.
And with a visa, if your program is 2 years, is the visa going to be valid 2 years or sometimes you can get more?
Oh, that I am not very sure of.
I'm
I'm not sure of that, but you usually get visa according to the duration of your study.
Okay.
Yeah.
So after study, what does the person do? Do you go back home or do you try and integrate and get a job and stay?
Actually, Finland wants you to stay. They
Oh,
want you to stay because there is chronic shortage. Everybody is begging somebody. Well, it's interesting that they now go to other countries to bring nurses to work. I know
yes.
they go to the Philippines, yes, train them. Even some Kenyans, they have gone there to teach them Finnish. They have institutions that they teach some of them Finnish, and then they come here so they can just get into the study. And by the time they graduate, they just start working. Like everywhere, they're looking for nurses, so they won't let you go. You always got a job wherever you want, hospital, health center, and all that. The only thing that may be a concern for a lot of people don't talk about this is you may not work as a registered nurse when you graduate because they want you to have a certain level of proficiency, language proficiency. So you may work as a practical nurse even if you're a registered nurse, but by the time you speak the Finnish to a certain level, then you'll be able to work as a registered nurse. Some people do not even care about working as a registered nurse anyway because they just want to work as practical nurses, learn the language, and the pay is not so much. The difference is not so much. So
Okay.
it's something you have to put in mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you say practical nurse, is that like a nurse aide, carer, nurse assistant? Or
So in the
LPN?
US, they have registered nurses, the bachelors, and then they have the LPNs, the licensed practical nurses. Yes.
Okay.
So it's the
Is
practical
it
nurses, not carer. Carer is that you don't have what is it called? You don't have any education in the nursing field. But as a licensed practical nurse, You do have, but you don't have the license to practice as a registered nurse.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now you already went to that area. So what is the pay range for an LPN, a licensed practical nurse, and an RN? The pay
Now,
range, the salary wise.
now this depends on where
Wow.
you work. So if
Mhm.
you work with private agents, you get more pay. They get about 13 euros per hour to 20 euros per hour. But as a registered nurse, you can get 15 to 30 euros per hour.
Mm.
Yeah.
Wow.
But it depends. So if you work with the government, you get 1 month's paid leave. You get health insurance. You have it as long as you live in Finland. What else do you have? Housing. Yes. So you have subsidized house.
Wow.
What else do you have? If you get sick, you'll be paid for being sick, so to say. So the government pays that. Continuous education, the government provides.
Mm-hmm.
But if you work with a private, continuous education you have to be proactive to ask if they have any of that. You don't get subsidy for the housing, but the cities can actually subsidize for you. So you just choose. But the pay is actually better, and there is this flexibility that comes with working with a private agent. So you tell them you give them your lists that okay, you don't want to work on these days and you want to be off those days. So I think it just depends on someone's phase in their lives, whatever, or life situations. Yes, that's the right word, your life situation. So if you want to have kind of a secure work environment, work life that you know that every time you have shifts, then you should work with the government. But if you want to take risks and you want the money fast, then you can work with the private companies.
Okay, cool. So you mentioned language proficiency. I
Yeah.
believe that is a finished language. Is there a test you take, and are there levels A, B, C, or how is it? How do you prove that you now have the proficiency?
Actually, they don't ask for you to prove if you have the proficiency anymore. I remember when I started, there is this test you do, it's called the UKI test, the language proficiency test. They don't really ask that anymore. They only ask when you want to be a citizen for you to show that. But what they really say is during the interview, so when you want to get a job, you ask them or they call you and say, so tell me about you, why do you want to have this job? It is when you talk that they'll be able to say, okay, this one doesn't speak well or to this level and all that. So it's about how you speak during the interview.
Wow. It's the language that deters many people. Like,
Yeah.
just nurses don't want to go there because I have to learn the language. It's just
Yeah.
easier when you speak English, go to an English speaking country. But if the
Hmm.
country is offering me what I need, I will do whatever to learn the basics to be able
Yeah.
to make some money.
Yeah, but the thing about learning the language is it is not hard. I mean, I have lived in Finland and I've been able to speak. I speak it well. I don't speak like a native Finn, but I speak well to take care of my clients. So if you do have the willingness, you will learn the language,
Yeah.
especially if you're in the environment where people are speaking. It just comes.
Hmm.
So do not dread learning a new language. It is actually a beautiful thing to be able to speak a foreign language.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. It is a beautiful thing. And I'm a living testimony. I don't know if
Yeah.
you know this, but I grew up in Nigeria. I spent 10 years of my life in Nigeria. So I speak Yoruba, it's Sabo, maybe
Okay.
90.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. Yeah.
And I speak about three other dialects.
Yeah.
So it's good to be able to speak somebody's language.
Yes.
Good. Okay. So nursing, how has it been like for you? When you finally got out of school, what was your first job? I know you've moved jobs, you've changed your environment a little bit. What have you done so far in terms of the nursing field? Did you work in the hospital?
Yeah. The
Nursing
thing
home?
is, I am a bird. I fly.
It's very
So,
necessary.
yeah, I am a Nigerian. I have the Nigerian spirit.
Yeah.
I don't stay in one place. So, by the time I graduated, most of the people around me encouraged me to go to care homes. By the time I got to the care home, I'm like, ew. this is not what I want to do.
It's not for me.
Yeah, it is not for me. But then I got pregnant with my son, and I was like, thank God. So during my maternity leave, I wrote the language exam. Then that was like 7 years ago. They would ask for the language proficiency when you want to go for a job. So I did it. I stayed at home, read, and passed. So by the time I was ready to go back to work, I was like, okay, I'm not going to the elderly care home. So I went to home care nursing. I think in the UK they call it district nursing, but I know in the US they call it home care nursing, where you go to clients' homes to provide care for them.
Yeah, home
So
care, home visit.
yes, home visits sort of. So I love it because you can go outside, enjoy the nature. The only thing I don't like about it is winter. Yeah, winter in Finland is really winter. It's not the one that plays. It pours snow. So and it's very cold. Yeah. So when it's winter, I run back to the elderly care home. I have not been able to work in the hospital. That's because I feel like you're in a cage. But next year, I've given myself the challenge that next year I'm going to switch to hospital nursing, and then by God's grace, I'll be able to document that in my channel about that part of nursing that I have never done for the 10 years I've been a nurse. So, what I have been doing, to reiterate, I have worked in rehabilitation wards centers. I have worked in disabled homes, elderly care homes, service homes, home care nursing, and I also vaccinated. So the COVID vaccine, I did that for the period it lasted. Yeah.
I thought you're still doing that, or that is done.
It's done actually because a lot of people were not coming for the vaccine, and of course it's subsided. So I returned to home care nursing.
So you're going to go back to the hospital.
No, I went back to home care nursing. I'm doing home care nursing
Oh,
now.
oh.
Yeah,
But you
yeah.
said next year you want to go into the
Yeah,
hospital.
next year I'm going to the hospital and I'm going to definitely document that.
So
Yeah,
let's come to childcare. You mentioned kids. How has
yeah,
it been? I'm sure you are not there with your parents. You are not there with his parents. So
yeah.
childcare. Do you pay for daycare? Who helps you babysit? What do you do?
You know, the Finnish government, they've made it in a way that if you're going to work, you don't have to bother about your child. So the daycare opens from 6:30. Most of the work starts by 7. So it's open in a way that you can drop them off and go to work. And when you come back, you pick them up. So that's exactly what I've been doing. If you are studying, then you may not even be paying for the daycare because they say, oh, you don't have enough money, so don't pay, just bring them. And you don't have to make food for them because the daycare feeds them all the while they'll be there. So all you need to do is take them, hand them over to the good teachers. I mean, they are very good. Like, one of the things I love about Finland is the daycare system. You don't worry about, is this person going to be, are my children going to be in safe hands? Because they are. And I think it's a blessing when it comes to daycare for families. Just come to Finland. Yeah.
Wow, you don't
So
get that over there.
what you pay, yes, that's if you're a student that you don't pay. But what you pay is not so much. You can actually be happy to pay. It's not outrageous. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when it comes to healthcare, health insurance for yourself and the family, is there
Mm.
a free health insurance? Do you pay something for it?
Do have a free healthcare insurance. And
Is it
the
from your
thing is, the
your
thing is, if you're working, then you have this Kela card that gives you access to healthcare health centers. But if you're a student, there is student health centers. So yes, it's free actually.
So what about maternity? These questions are questions overseas nurses want to know.
Yeah.
How long is the maternity? Is it paid? How many months do you stay home? And do you get paid while staying home nursing your child?
Yes, so I stayed home for 9 months with my 2 kids. Yes, the 2 times I had them, I stayed for fully paid 9 months. One thing is they they calculate how much you'll be paid based on how much you've worked for the last 6 months prior to your delivery. So if you work a lot, then they just calculate it, and you may be earning. I remember I earned they gave me 2,500 during the first 3 months of my maternity leave, and then it was 1,715. Yeah, so you'll be paid for staying at home. Now, this is my experience. Finland is always bringing new laws, new experiences. This may not be the same in 2 years' time or 5 years' time, but yes, you have paid maternity leave.
Well, we always leave our spouses out, the husband or the wife. If I'm a nurse and I come over there,
Yeah.
do the partner get to join me? And if they come in, do they find a job easily? Let's say I'm bringing my husband mail. Will he find a job?
Yeah. So if you're coming even as a student, your family gets to come with you. And your husband has unlimited hours to study, to work. So anyone that is studying gives the other person rights to do 100 or 200%, like double shift work. And the job is something I tell people to think outside the box. I mean, you don't have to work for somebody. You can start your business. They are actually encouraging that. You can get loan to start your business. But if you want to work, you can actually work. A lot of people, I know majority of the people are into IT. So if you're a software engineer, or you do something related to programming, there are a lot of people employed, and they are looking for a lot of people to do that. You can also do the taxi. Like, there are a lot of jobs. Now, I'm saying these because those are the things that majority of the people that are not Europeans do in Finland when they come in newly, because of course they don't understand Finnish and cannot speak. Mm-hmm. But then when you speak, it opens a whole new door and a lot of opportunities to you.
Yeah, it's the same everywhere. When you speak, you're able to go find a job.
Yeah.
So housing, accommodation, shelter. You said you might get subsidized one because you work for the healthcare system or something. So if I have to rent my own without getting the one that, are you automatically going to get it subsidized because you're a healthcare worker?
Yes, you get it automatically when you have a contract with any of the cities. But I don't work with the city. I don't work for the city. But I live in a city-owned house.
Okay.
And I pay almost the same as what the subsidized people or houses pay. So that's what I'm saying, that if you don't work with the city, you can, or if you don't work for the government, you can also get a city house that is also subsidized. You just have to, you may not get it immediately, but you just have to be persistent. They want you to have lived in the city. So I live in this metropolitan area. They want you to live in the city where you want them to give you their house for at least 2 months. So some people live in different cities and they're like, oh, we need a house. They don't want that. So what we did is we got a house with a private housing agent, and while we were there, I applied for the city house and I got it. Yeah.
Okay, so give me a rough estimate, like maybe a 2-bedroom house. Do you know what it will range between?
Yeah, so if you live in 2-bedroom, now 2-bedroom means different things for different people. Okay. 2-bedroom in this case is you have a living room and you have 2 sleeping rooms.
Yes.
You have the dining, you have the kitchen, you have the toilet, is the 2-bedroom. If you work with a city or you get a city house, you may pay about 600 euros to 900 euros a month. But if you don't work or you're renting through the private housing agents, you may actually pay, how much will you pay? 1,001, 1,002, 1,005, 3,000, depending on the location.
Area.
Yes.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. Finland is tempting me. I need to pack up and come over, come live and work over there. So basically, if you're an overseas nurse and you want to enter the system with your overseas education, it's accreditation it's some way. It's hard to get your accreditation, your credential evaluation things, right?
Yeah, I actually don't recommend that
Advise
because it
that
takes a long time, and it's not because they don't want you, but because you have to show that you speak the
language.
language. It's the language that is the problem. And
Yeah.
you cannot, from where you live, speak the language, or even if you start reading, because you're not practicing, it won't stick.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I actually recommend just come to study. It's a hassle to go through the accreditation process.
Okay. So nursing school over there, the LPN, how many years is it? Is there 4-year bachelor's or 3-year bachelor degree? If you want to come and school there full time.
You mean the LPM or the registered nurses?
Both
The
of them.
bachelor
How
degree.
long is the LPN? The US is 2 years, RN is 4 years.
Yeah, so the LPN here is 2 years,
Mhm.
but the registered nurse, they actually say it's 3.5. But if you're hardworking, you can actually do it within 2 years, 3 years.
Wow.
And I know a lot of people, like my sister, she's also a nurse. She did it the same way I did. Like, you just do a lot of courses, especially now that you're paying fees. Just study with the other group and different sets, and you'll be able to graduate before the time. One thing about them is there are no restrictions. They don't tell you can do it now. You can do a certain course. They give you the opportunity to plan what you want to do. So if you want to graduate early, well, if you can graduate before the 3 years, most often people graduate within 3 years as registered nurses.
Wow. Cool. Thank you very much for your time. It's been very, very detailed. Really appreciate it. Any last words, anything you want to say? Where you live, do you find fellow African brothers and sisters around? Is the environment very friendly, safe? My last question.
Your last question. So where I live, if there are a lot of Africans, yes, there are a lot of Somalis, and we have Nigerians. We have, I mean, it's diverse. They have a diverse community of
Okay.
foreigners here. Yeah,
Wow.
and at work you find them, you meet them. Yeah.
Okay. Any last words for the nurses who are yet to come and join you? Anything they should know? Any advice? Any regrets? Any tips to adjust? Anything at all you want to let them know? Something you wish you did before, or you knew before coming in? The
Yeah.
weather, you said the weather is extreme. They should get ready for the snow. You have to bundle up.
Exactly. Like, get ready for the snow, because when it snows, really it snows, and it's really
What's the
cold.
coldest you've been? Negative what?
40. Yeah, it gets to that, really. It gets to that. And you have the period, like now we're approaching winter, that we have only like 3 hours of sunlight. When spring comes out, is like everybody is out of their shell. When some winter comes, it's like we've all hibernated, like everybody's
Yeah.
is there's this quietness and moody feel it comes with. So
Yes.
the long period of it's about 4 months of winter. It's the most unpleasant, at least for me. I know different people enjoy different things, but for me, it's too long. But then, when it's summer, we don't have darkness sometimes. So by 1 a.m., there is light outside. Yes, there is this longest day that all through from morning to night it's shining.
Really?
Yes.
We have
So when
that to
it's
10
summer,
p.m. here.
so when
I'm
it's summer,
excited
it's
for
really
that.
summer. Now, one
Wow.
of the things that I have to tell you guys is that the Finns are very Finnish, for lack of a better word.
Mhm.
So stay in contact with your friends back home, because you will need it. You're coming to a new country, and you may want to. It may take you time to get new friends.
Yeah.
Yes, they are not very, very social. So stay in
Mm.
contact with the people back home. And when you go out, try to have relationship with mostly foreigners. And over time, you get to get new friends in this place.
Yeah.
Yeah. Coming
Wow.
abroad takes a lot of planning, a lot of faith. So if it is what you want to do, don't give up. Ask for advice, watch YouTube videos, comments. A closed mouth, my mom will say, is a closed destiny. So reach out, watch,
Yeah.
and ask questions. Yeah.
We put these videos out to help our fellow brothers and sisters back home, and it will help them. So thank you very
Yeah.
much for your time. And once more, what is your YouTube channel and where can we find you on social media handle? Anything you want to leave here for?
Okay.
Find
You
you.
guys, thank you so much for being so kind to come to my YouTube channel. Is this the same name, Roselyn Dedua on YouTube? And do not come for nursing content or coming abroad because I don't make any of those. And don't come to my channel to ask me questions about anything. Please, anything related to coming to Finland or nursing, leave it in the comment section here in this video. If I don't reply, Priscilla is going to send me a message. Hey, they've asked you this question. Please come and reply to them. But yes, if you want to make money, I mean it, or you want to just develop a relationship with God, please come to my channel on YouTube. I'm also on Instagram. It's the same, Roselyn Dedua. YouTube and Instagram are the platforms I'm very active on. Yeah.
Thank you so much for making time. Sorry about the technical hitches. I'm glad we were able
It's
to do
okay.
it. And hopefully we'll have you back in the future. It's been lovely.
I'll be so happy to come. Yeah.